Hello everyone, my name is Paulin Stamayoe, and we're back for Pokemon Y Shiny Hunting, episode 21, Lapras. And if you didn't watch the last episode, why didn't you? You want a quick recap of soft resets? 447. It's pretty good. Anyway, today's topic is by me. This will be one of many life tips, and that's what I'm calling it, the section. And this one is workout, and I'll explain what I mean by workout. But workout every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And there are exceptions to this. And also how you should. I'll start off with how you will. So if you have these metal bar looking things, they're called dumbbells, and they're usually used for getting your strength up and all that stuff. If you have 5-pound, just two 5-pound dumbbell weights, that's what I use. And or if you have something like jugs of water or something else that equals up to 5 pounds, and you have two of them, you can have one in each of your hand. But yeah, so this is how you would work out. So pretty much, actually, don't start with the dumbbell weights yet, because there's this thing that you do. You gotta make sure your stamina is all good. Like, your stamina means your speed and how long you can go without, if you can breathe normally while you're running and all that. So, but this, you'll be like running in place in a place that most likely no one's gonna bother you. But yeah, so pretty much you gotta do. Okay, say it's Monday. Before you eat lunch or dinner, or if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I only eat lunch and dinner just because I don't know, I just don't eat breakfast. But anyway, so pretty much, say you're like me, you only eat lunch and dinner. So before lunch, you would go to wherever you usually go to work out. And keep your, I would really have to show you another video if you all really wanted to see how I work out, and then what you should start out with until you can breathe normally by running in place and all that for a while. But anyway, so you'll start off with just keeping your back straight, looking forward, and doing they're called, well, it's like you're tippy-toeing, but oh dang it, I forgot to talk to the guy. But your feet are not super high off the ground, but high enough to where it's like you're mini jumping. You know what I mean? Because if you have your legs up too high when you're running, you're gonna hurt your feet when they land. So you don't want them super high, and you don't want them super low either. Just high enough off the ground, I don't know the exact measurement. Say you put your mouse on the ground, and that's the height of how high your feet, each step should go off the ground. That's how I'll measure it. Like a computer mouse, I mean. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much you do that. You look forward and you do that. And if you're not holding any weights, because if you're not really good on stamina and cardio, then just have your arms, I don't know how to explain it. If you were, how how normal people run, they have their arms next to their torso, and then they have their upper arms, they have it towards their torso, and then their hands forward. So it's kind of like an L shape, you know what I mean? Oh dang it, I didn't want to nickname the thing. But anyway, yeah, that's how you would do it if you're just starting out. And you would do, if you really feel like you're not that good, only do 500 steps. And that sounds like a lot right away, but it's really not. And if you can push yourself to 1,000, then by all means do it. Just don't do that kind of stuff if you feel like you're gonna not gonna make it to 1,000. Because, well, you know what? Yeah, because you want to make sure to for now push yourself, but not push yourself past. This is the limit that I even limit myself to, so I don't get super strong, because you want to be able to be fast and strong, because if you're too strong, you're going to be slow. And yeah, because sometimes in the world you just need to get physical and defend yourself with that, or help by like moving heavy stuff. But anyway, so pretty much you're gonna want to get your stamina up. Like when you're running, you want to be able to breathe normally, and you're not even tired after. Once you finally achieve that state, then you can move on to do 1,000, unless you already were doing 1,000, and then you can keep going up by 500 each time until you reach 2,000. And then if you do that before, say if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you'll be doing that before each of them. And yeah, the way I keep track, like keep count in my head, is if I'm doing multiple, if I'm doing like 2,000 or something like that, because that's the most you would do before before you know, one of the main meals of that day, like only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll explain why after, but pretty much you would want to do, say if you got to 500, then you would restart and count another 500, because if you just go to 600, it might confuse some people because you're trying to keep count in your head and also work out. So that's what works for me. I just count, once I count to 500, I like count those as sets. And once you do 4 sets of 500, of course, that's 2,000. And yeah, so once you finally achieve that, once you can do 2,000 every time and not even feel like tired or even tired during, well, it's kind of fine to be tired during it, but if you're not really tired after, then yeah, you pretty much achieved mastering that. So once you finally have done that, then we move on to the weights. Now this is where you actually get your arm strength up, but you're still getting your speed and your cardio and stamina up as well. And I'll explain why. So, like I said, if you don't have 2 5-pound dumbbell weights, you're gonna want to get something that equals up to 5 pounds, and you can still hold it in each hand. Like they each have to be 5 pounds on each hand. And so just like the running, except you're gonna be wanting to hold those up, like having your elbows be next to your torso, and then have your arms up, holding the 5 pounds on each hand up, and it's kind of like your arms are in shape of a V. That's how it's gonna be. And for this, you're going to actually want to strip down to your underwear, because you're going to be sweating a lot. Like, I've done this for, I think, a month now, and I still sweat really bad. Just because, like, I'm used to it. I breathe like I didn't even do anything after, but yeah, you're going to probably always sweat no matter how much you mastered it. And eventually you're going to want to do 4,000 of those as well. It's going to feel heavier because, of course, you got the extra pounds holding them, and there's going to be sweat dripping down. There's going to be, oh yeah, you're going to want a towel, like a mini hand towel that's like you can dry your if you have hair, or just even your head, you can dry your head, dry your ears, dry your face, dry your body, dry your thighs, like even like your high thighs next to your crotch and stuff, and your legs, and your arms, and your back, and even your like your genitals and your that your area around that and your butt. Because that you're gonna be all sweaty. And yeah, so if you, like I said, eventually, oh yeah, it's gonna like really, it's gonna hurt your shoulders at first, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be tense holding that up the whole time because you gotta hold it up like that the whole time. And like I said, if you guys really, well not just guys, if you all want me to do another video showing you how, I can use my other camera and like set it up somewhere, because I usually do my workout in my garage, and actually today is workout day, so yeah. And it usually takes me probably about like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do it, just because I do the 2000 and then, yeah. So yeah, that's how that'll go. And so if you can master that, then hey, you'll be strong and you'll be fast. And not only that, because of the extra weight you have from the 5 pounds on each hand, your leg strength is going to go up too, because you're doing the step thing as well while you're holding up those weights. And so yeah, so that's going to be some, you're going to be really in shape. And the exceptions that you are fine not to work out is only if you're so sick you can't even move or anything like that. If you're so sick you can't even get up or anything like that, then that would be the excuse not to work out on the workout days. And also if you have like something that is going to affect your workout, like an injury on your foot or on your arms, like only on your arms if you are doing the holding up the 5 pounds on each hand. And so that's the only exception. That's the only exception to not work out on the workout days, because you should when you can on those days and before the main meals. So yeah, so that's how, because if you're like that, then you're gonna be well in shape. Because I've done that for I think at least a month, and I'm already seeing lots of results. And I'll share in depth like in other topics, because I do have topics that I made that are specifically on that. So yeah, I hope you all have amazing results from this, and actually enjoyed this kind of training. And yeah, because it's always good to make sure you're staying safe. What else? Oh yeah, so I finished grinding up the rest of the life orbs, the battle points for the life orbs. So I have 6 of them. I tried out a battle and I got freaking destroyed. Like, I took out one of the guy's Pokemon, but he had like a Gengar, Alakazam, Talonflame, Chansey. Like, I only got to see the Gengar. He started off with a Gengar. I started off with Delphox. I was lucky to live a sludge wave, barely, from the Gengar, and then I killed the Gengar with the flamethrower. But since I had the life orb killed me, because the life orb gives you 30% more power on each of your attacks, but it takes little recoil damage, and I was like, my Delphox is on 11 health, and it was crazy. But we're gonna have to talk about that in the next episode, because I'll do another one just because. So this is the last offer set, and yeah, so yeah, well, I'll talk about that later. And also Pokemon Ruby stuff that I did last night, so pretty excited to share that as well. But anyway, it's the final one. Let's see if it is. So yeah, today this topic really took, like, because I only had like a minute to talk about extra stuff like my Pokemon Y battle and all that. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad. Alright, nope. Okay, so this is pretty impressive. We ended off with 470 soft resets. Yeah, I think we reached 30. Yeah, I think, or at least 27. But anyway, bye Lapras. I've been your host, Fallen Stamayoe, and goodbye.